Hi everyone, welcome to my channel and welcome to the first ever pick a card video that I'm doing on my channel. It's not actually going to be a pick a card. As you can see, there's nothing on my table right now, but that's because I am going to shuffle the cards as I go into your reading. I didn't pre-shuffle it, so I am going to ask you to pick a group a bit later on after I explain what this video is actually about. So the reason why I feel called to create this video is because I actually pulled some cards. I'm doing this thing where I'm pulling some cards to see what spirit has to say and what kind of content and things that people need to hear. So the main card is Eight of Cups. This is the main theme of this video, so that is why we are doing a what do you need to walk away from, because this is exactly what this card is about. And so what we are going to cover is as follows. I'm going to pull some cards on you. When you choose the group, even though I do believe that you are not going to choose wrong, there's always going to be, even if you don't resonate with the whole message, if you chose a group, then there is some kind of message for you, even though if it's only a little bit. Anyway, so I'm going to pick out a couple cards just for you to know whether or not it is your group. It is the right reading for you. So who are you? What do you need to walk away from? The meat of this video. Why is it so hard to walk away? And what is at stake? If you don't walk away, what is at stake? What's going to be a problem? What will happen if you don't walk away? And how are you going to be transformed by this experience of walking away? And then I will pull some guidance, of course, on how to walk away itself. So, now that you know what the video is about, I want you to pick a group, choose from these images. There's a couple ways that you can choose your group. You can look at these images and see which one you feel drawn to. You can look at the timestamps down below, or just look at, this section. I will insert chapters, of course. Look at the chapters. There's so many different ways for you to choose the group, but I do have a tip. If you know your human design type, if you're a sacral, the way that you can choose your group is just immediately which one jumps out to you. Which one does your body feel pulled towards, if that makes any sense. If you look at the image, your body is going to viscerally kind of move toward that image or that group. That's how you can choose for sacrals. Or if you have an emotional authority in human design, then meditate on it. Don't choose right away, because you do need to ride the waves of your emotions. So don't choose right away, meditate on it. And then when you feel calm, when you feel more centered, grounded, choose your group. Okay, so I think that's it for now. I will see you on your reading. Hello, group number 1. If you chose this image, then this is going to be the reading for you. I am, of course, going to start off with shuffling the cards. And if you don't want to witness the shuffling, then I will leave a timestamp that you can skip to. But for those of you who like seeing the cards being shuffled, stick around. So who are you? We've got Justice. You might be a Libra. This is a Libra card, right? Yes, this is a Libra and Venus. You might be a Libra, you might not. You might have a Libra Venus, but honestly, if you're not, don't worry about it, okay? Because sometimes I think if zodiac signs appear in a video, in a card, I mean, it's not always going to be super accurate, but I guess if you do have those signs, it does mean that it's a confirmation that this is definitely for you, okay? But with the Justice card, I think you are someone who is very diplomatic, you are very fair, you are kind of like a more logical kind of person, and you kind of place a lot of value on morality, if that makes any sense. I think you are a fair person as well. I think if you're on the Dimensionals app, I think I remember there's a question about like what you base your morality on, and you are someone who will base your morality on fairness instead of like compassion, for example. Yeah, this might be you, okay? So what do you need to walk away from? And that's kind of scary because like it's not actually open, as you can see. So we are going to find out together. What the actual fuck? We have the main card, the theme card of this whole reading. It's the Eight of Cups. I don't know why it's not focusing. There you go. We have the Eight of Cups, and it is in reverse. I think there's definitely something that you need to walk away from. And that's a little bit unclear about what it actually is. So I'm going to pull just another card to get some clarification on what it actually is. Although, now that I'm kind of like seeing it with this card being in reverse, I think this is something internal. This is something about you and your kind of, because it is a cups, because this is a cups card, the cups is about the psychic self, this is about emotions. So I think this is about baggage. This is about emotional baggage that you kind of need to walk away from. You are being asked to let go of these emotional baggages, and with this card being in reverse, it kind of emphasizes the point that it's been really difficult for you to do so, for you to walk away and kind of leave the cups behind, because I think you also need to walk away from this idea that you are not capable, that you don't have the strength. I think maybe you don't. With the Justice card, I don't see you kind of having that kind of conscious belief about yourself. I think this is very deeply rooted stuff. It's within your unconscious mind. I think you have this deeply rooted belief that you are not capable and you are not like a resilient person. I think on the surface, on your conscious mind, you do believe that you are a very strong person. You are very resilient. I don't know. I'm just getting that sense from the Justice card. But you are being asked to walk away from kind of your previous coping mechanisms. You need to walk away from your old coping mechanisms. Something about it is not healthy. It's actually not really serving you. And the reason why it's so hard for you to walk away from this is represented by the Ten of Cups. And the Ten of Cups is about fulfillment to me. I think there's this kind of, again, like this unconscious, subconscious idea that the way that you have been living now, the way that you have been coping with everything, will somehow, this is what will lead you to emotional fulfillment. But the thing is, unfortunately, because this did come in this position, unfortunately, that's not really the case. And what is at stake? Fucking hell. You've got the World. This is a major arcana. And so, this is fucking big energies around here. We're talking big energies. The World is like, if you are unfamiliar, just in case you're not familiar with the tarot and its structure and everything, the World is, like I said, a major arcana card, which represents like major lessons that I think each and every human will have to go through in their lives. Maybe not in the most chronological order, because there is an order to these major arcanas. There are 21 cards, I think. I forgot. I keep forgetting. I think it's 22. Anyway, the World is like the ending. The World is the destination, if there is a destination, if you will. And this is anything and everything. And if you think about your goals, if you think about, maybe not goals, because to me that can be a little bit more shallow, because the World is so not shallow at all, because this is big shit. This big spiritual kind of like, this is the answer to all the philosophical questions that everyone has been trying to figure out. What is your big philosophical question in your life? You are not going to get the answer to it. You are not going to live your best life if you don't let go of your previous coping mechanisms. If you don't let go of the way you have been handling your emotions. I think with these Cups cards, like I said, right? With the Justice, I think you are more of a logical kind of person. Like, you think your way out of everything, or most things. Like, that's kind of like just how you were wired in a way. Which, don't forget that these things are learned. And I think maybe you didn't really learn how to, cope with your emotions, how to handle your emotions. Maybe you even have the belief that emotions make you weak, or that emotions, serve no purpose whatsoever. If anything, it kind of just hinders you. You need to let go of that, because emotions definitely do have a purpose. And, again, with the Justice card, like, having certain emotions, feeling certain emotions do not make you a certain kind of person. It does not at all determine what kind of person you are. It does not, like, having feelings of anger, for example, it does not make you a bad person for feeling angry, for example, to someone that you love. It does not make you a bad person. It only becomes a problem if the way you respond to those emotions are not good. That's only when emotions become a problem. So we haven't even gotten to the guidance part, but I'm already getting some senses. But yeah, let's pull some cards for actual guidance for you. What is the guidance for group number 1 about this? How do they walk away? What is the guidance for walking away? Oh, I think I probably should have mentioned this at the start, but with the 8 of Cups in reverse, the 8 of Cups talks about how people stay stuck in their situations because they think, or they have this like belief that they can't handle the feelings that they are going to experience when they do walk away. And so we kind of stay stuck in really uncomfortable situations that we kind of know that they're so fucking uncomfortable, but because the pain of changing is still greater than the pain of staying the same, we kind of just like stay stuck in that because we don't know like how to handle certain emotions, like for example rage, shame, sadness, right, from walking away. And this card is about knowing that when you walk away, you will survive and you will be able to get through on the other side. And trusting that you have the tools. Even though sometimes I guess a lot of us don't have those tools, but you can most definitely learn about them. There's so many resources now about emotions and things like that. Therapy would be a great place to start. Maybe not a great place to start because it's probably going to be really difficult for you to start therapy. But yeah. I don't know what else to say about that. Okay. What is the guidance for group number 1? What is the guidance for group number 1? This is why sometimes I probably shouldn't be shuffling on camera because it takes so long for cards to jump out from me. I'm just gonna grab this one. And this one. Okay. Yeah, you are most definitely stepping in. You are most definitely stepping into a whole new chapter in your life. Because we have the birthing a new age, birthing new creations, dreaming a new world into being. And we also have the initiation, rite of passage, crossing the threshold. You are most definitely stepping into a whole new fucking world. I'm getting the sense that this is all very, very new to you, and this does look at how creepy this freaking scene is, right? This may look really, really scary for you. And of course it will be, because we are so not used to valuing our emotions. That's why a lot of us don't know how to cope with emotions. So I think you're not the only one here. But with birthing a new age, you are most definitely stepping into your most authentic self through this journey. You're going to be a completely different person when you come out of the other side. And honestly, it's not going to be very easy for you. And I do see with the Two of Pentacles, the way that you are going to be transformed by this experience. Not only are you going to be... Oh my god, sorry. My alarm. Okay. Not only are you going to be stepping into the truer version of yourself, you're shedding those layers, right? I think those beliefs that, about emotions that you currently have, those do not come. That's just the ego. That really doesn't come from you. It's from conditioning of our society, of our patriarchal capitalistic society, So with the Two of Pentacles, trust that you are going to be able to balance everything. I think with the Two of Pentacles coming out in this position, I think at the moment you kind of have the belief that if you create space for your emotions, you are not going to have any space for anything else. And you have, I don't know, with the world, I feel like you have big dreams, you have big plans for yourself. And I think with the Two of Pentacles being in this position, I think you have this belief that you might not be able to kind of, do well at work, or you won't be able to do well in your relationships. You're going to fall apart. You're not going to be able to handle it. Like I said, I think I already mentioned that before, but I think trust that you will be able to. It's actually going to be a lot easier for you to kind of balance things in the end. I know that this might not make sense at the moment, but it will. Because you actually have space, you put those emotions, instead of it just operating in the background, just taking up your RAM, you are actually going to take that away. So instead of you working and have all these emotional baggages operating in the background, just worrying in the background, you're going to get rid of that because you put those that baggage, those emotions, and you create a container somewhere else. You create space for it, and then you are going that is going to dissipate. If you create space for it. If you just let it run in the background, then it's not going to go anywhere. And so you are actually going to be able to multitask and balance and do the things that you are meant to do the things that you meant to set out in this world. And with the Page of Swords, I think there's going to be a lot of ideas coming out of this experience. You're a very intellectual person, with the swords and with justice. There's going to be a lot of ideas coming because you created space for your emotions. So I think that's really fucking cool. And I think that's it for your reading. Thank you so much for tuning in. I really enjoyed that. And if you want to have more detail about this, about the how it's in itself, about how to create space for your emotions and things like that, I do actually coach. I'm a reparenting coach, so I do have a coaching program if you are interested, if you want a more kind of intensive kind of support in that area of your life. I do offer coaching, even though I do not recommend that you replace that with therapy, okay? No, don't like that. It's completely different okay? I think coaching, especially with emotions, it should be supplementary to like therapy and actual like, you know, consultation with like a mental health professional. Yeah. Or if you want a more detailed tarot reading, I also offer that as well. You can book a private reading with me. I have all the details in the description. You can even just DM me, to be honest. I'm very free about that. So yes, if you enjoyed this video, if this resonated with you, please give it a thumbs up. Consider subscribing. And let us know in the comments if it does resonate, or if not, that's all right. If you don't want to like make it super public, you can also DM me or anything. I think that's it. Thank you so much, and I will see you on the next video. Hello, group number 2. If you chose this image, then this is going to be the reading for you. I'm going to shuffle these cards, and if you are not interested, if you're so impatient for your reading, you can check out the timestamp down below, and you can just skip to your reading. Should I mention what you need to walk away from is 4 of Pentacles. This represents you, the Tower. This is the first card. We have the Knight of Swords. As to why it's so hard to walk away. Sometimes, like, I don't know, do I want to know what the cards are, or do I want to... Anyway. Oh my god! This is the same card as group number 1. What's at stake is the world. Okay, interesting. Five of Pentacles in reverse. Okay. Okay. We'll shuffle the guidance as we go through this reading. Okay. Group number 2. I'm only making this expression because your first card is the Tower. You are going through it. Okay? You are going through it. It's either that. Either you just went through a pretty sudden, a pretty jarring, a pretty life-changing, a pretty harsh experience, which makes you feel like that has pushed you, that has propelled you thousands of miles away from your comfort zone. If this has happened to you, then this is definitely your pile, or this could also represent never mind. I was thinking the Tower is a Scorpio energy, but it's not. You might be a more masculine kind of person. You have more of a dominant masculine energy. It does not matter what sex or gender you are. We all have feminine and masculine energies. But yeah, I think definitely if you chose this pile, if you have been propelled away from your comfort zone, then this is going definitely the pile, the group for you. Okay, so what do you need to walk away from? We have the Four of Pentacles. So with the Four of Pentacles, this in itself is about like blockages. I think if you can see if like this image is very kind of protective, right? This kind of, I don't know why my camera loves to focus on my vines. Anyway, I think you are quite a protective kind of person. You're quite protective of your belongings, of the things that kind of belong to you. I say that because this is a Pentacles card, and Pentacles is about the 3D world, so you might be quite attached to the things that you have. This is about things. This could also be about your career, just because there is the Capricorn sign over here. You might be someone who is protective over their career, over their belongings, and you need to walk away from that. Because it is blocking you away from... I think you've formed these barriers, right? You've formed this barrier. Like, this is you, and this is like the being that like protects you, that shields you from life. I don't know. I'm just getting the sense that, you know, like this thunder, this rain, like this is life. You are shielding yourself from like hardship. And that is what you need to walk away from. You need to let that part of yourself, that protective part of yourself, which we all have that. We all have, especially people with trauma, we formed this kind of like part of ourselves that protects us from experiencing hurt. And we did that because it's like a strategy to protect ourselves, right? And Four of Pentacles is definitely like protective energy. And that is based on The Body Keeps the Score by Dr. Bessel van der Kolk. I don't know how to say his name properly. But that's what he suggested in that book, is that we have these parts of ourselves that protects us. And so it stops us from experiencing life. I think why is this so familiar? Why is this a bit similar to group number 1? Maybe if you were drawn to both group number 2 and group number 1, maybe you should check out group number 1. There might be a message for you there, because this position is also, I'm getting the same sense that you are avoiding like difficult situations in your life. You're like protecting yourself from it. And then recently, or maybe it's kind of bubbling up at the moment, but with the Tower, it happened. No matter how hard you protected yourself, it happened anyway. Like, your comfort zone, that tower that you've been living in, this tower that you have been living in, it's being destroyed. Even though you have built this barrier, right? You have built this tower that you thought was so strong it can withstand anything and everything. But despite your best efforts, it still fell down. What's the next card? Why is it so hard to walk away? Okay, so why is it so hard to walk away is represented by the Knight of Swords. I think, oh my god, why is the message kind of similar? Even though the cards are different. But with the Knight of Swords, the Knight of Swords is someone who takes action. I think this might be something that you have invested yourself in for so long. And you have invested so much energy and effort into this protection, this career. If it is a career. Yeah, if this is about a career, you have invested so much time and effort into this thing. And you have seen where this will take you. Like you really saw where like this career is going to take you. You've set so many goals. You're so determined. You're so determined to get to your destination. And that is why it's really hard to walk away from it, because how can you just walk away from something that you've invested so much energy into, right? But the thing is, with the world representing what is at stake for you, that might not be worth it. I mean, that is up to you to decide. Of course, I'm not here to tell you what is worth it and what isn't. I'm only here to kind of hopefully make you think about what is worth for you and what isn't. But the world is like, this is the culmination of everything. Again, I mentioned this in group number 1, but the world is a major arcana card, and this is the final card in the whole sequence of the major arcana, and therefore this card kind of represents the ending. This represents kind of like the end result. Like, this is where you are going, right? And you might think that you are heading there just because this Knight of Swords, like, you are flying towards the world, right? But because this is what is at stake. You know Maslow's hierarchy of needs? I didn't mention this in group number 1, but I just kind of like thought about this now. You know Maslow's hierarchy of needs, and like there's like basic needs, and I don't remember what it is. Maybe I'll insert it here. But I know that the top is self-actualization. And I'm getting the sense that what's at stake here, if you do not walk away from this protective kind of energy, again, it doesn't, I know I mentioned career, but it doesn't have to be a career. It could be just anything that you are protecting so hard. But it might be, with the pentacles, it's kind of hinting towards more like material items and things. Or behaviors. It doesn't have to be material items as well. It could be certain behaviors that I think you will know. I think you will know what behavior it is that isn't serving you anymore. But continuing these behaviors, hoarding these material items, holding on and protecting this career, whatever it is, okay? It can be anything. This is a collective, this is not a collective reading. This is a fucking video that I'm posting on YouTube, and a lot of people are going to see this, hopefully. But at least a couple people are going to see this video, so it's not, you know, it's not going to be super precise. Anyway. With the world at stake, I think what's at stake is your self-actualization. You're not going to actualize your very best potential. You're not going to actualize what your soul has chosen to do here on Earth. That might not happen. At least in this lifetime. You still have other chances, you still have other lifetimes, but do you want to do that? Now that I'm looking at this image, because if you look at this image, there's like a spiral, right? And then there's these like people who are spinning in the spiral. There's a house and things like that. And I did already mention this about reincarnation and stuff, and if you do believe in that stuff, I think what's at stake is your soul. Oh my god, this is so dramatic. I'm not gonna lie, this is quite dramatic, but I'm getting the sense that if what's at stake here is that this might be a really big lesson for you in this lifetime with the world. And I think if you don't resolve this, if you don't walk away from this in your lifetime, you are going to keep repeating this. This is like a cycle that keeps happening and happening and happening. This is not the first time that you have experienced this cycle, this pattern. It's definitely a pattern. You might notice it in your life that this keeps happening, or it has happened before in your past lives, and you're not going to break that cycle. I don't know why I made that made that expression. This is about breaking cycles. This cycle is going to keep continuing if you don't walk away from it now, or in recent times, or in the, in the close proximity future. I hope you understand what I'm trying to say. How are you going to be transformed by this experience? You are going to be getting rid of a lot of resentment, I think, with the Five of Pentacles. Is it about resentment? Yeah, I'm kind of getting that sense just because there's Aries. It's because there's Aries in this energy. I think you spend a lot of time. You spend a lot of time kind of just thinking. You spend a lot of time kind of stuck in almost like planning mode and thinking about what to do. Just because if you look at this image, like this person's kind of like just there thinking, looking a little bit bored. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, yeah. And things are dying around this person. You might have spent a lot of time just kind of neglecting the things that you value in your life. The things that bring you like butterflies to your stomach. And I'm saying that just because I see these like flowers dying, wilting. And you are going to be transformed because this did come out in reverse. So those things are not going to happen again. I'm just trying to remember what the Five of Pentacles looks like in the original deck. What does it look like? Sorry, I just want to know. What does it look like? Oh. Okay. Yeah, I forgot about that. You're also, because in the original deck, not this deck, I am using the, what is this? Lilifer Tarot, my newest deck at the moment. Anyway, in the Five of Pentacles, in like the original version, the picture, the image is like two people who are kind of in need, and they are walking. Like one of them has like, you know, like has crutches on, which is funny because I have crutches. Literally with that because I broke my leg. Anyway, it's not about me. But the image is two people walking in front of, like, at the sides of a church, and the message there is that they actually can ask for help, and that might be something that you struggle with as well, is asking for help from other people. You might be someone who thinks that you need to do everything by yourself. And these wolves are like trying to get your attention as well. And they look so cute. But the wolves represent like resourcefulness, intellect. So I think like you are going to gain like resourcefulness and intellect, just because that's what these wolves represent. I guess they're kind of like reminding you that you have those things. That resourcefulness doesn't always mean that you have to do everything by yourself. Sometimes it is necessary for you to ask for help, and asking for help is okay, just because you are a human, and us humans are social beings. So you asking for help is just you being a human, you know, and that's okay. And you're going to be transformed by, you know, like believing that, you know, you're going to have a new idea of what it means to be a strong person, a strong, resilient person. I think those views that you have currently, they're going to expire. They have expired. They were never on date. What's the opposite of out of date? They were never on date anyway. So those ideas about like having to do things by yourself, those ideas are outdated. They're out of date. It's expired. And you're going to have new ideas. You're going to have a new outlook about yourself that is based on you, not other people, you. So, to close off this reading, let's pull some oracle cards for you to get some final messages from Spirit. Spirit, what is your message for group number 2? What is your message for group number 2 to close off this reading? Okay. So I think we have 3 cards here. We have Dance with Life. Do something to change your energy. This could be literal. This could be like literally about dancing. Yeah, I think These cards are suggesting to me that you have taken life way too seriously. And it's okay to let down your hair sometimes. And just put on your favorite music. What's some song that you used to love as a kid? I don't know. I'm I'm a very nostalgic person, so that's like kind of my first instinct about this is like putting on music that you haven't put on for so long, that you used to love so much when you were younger, and just fucking blast it in your house and dance. That's literally a guidance from your guides. Can't really see the cards. That's alright. And then there's mirror. Who or what is triggering you? So this is about shadow work. I think if there's someone, I saw 1111 when I said shadow work, so I think that's like a confirmation that there might be someone who kind of triggers so much emotion within you, and you are being asked to reflect on that. Why does this person trigger me so much? Like, what is it about this person? What is it about what they do? I think that will kind of give you a hint towards this, about the self-actualization thing. I think that will be very important to walk away. Obviously, this is about walking away. That will, looking at that person, that thing that triggers so much emotional, like such a visceral, such a strong emotional reaction, that's what you actually need to investigate. Because we see people like mirrors. Like, there's something if you're pissed off at someone else, there must be something that you don't like about yourself. I know that's like super difficult to even accept, but it's true. Like, we look at people like mirrors, you know? So you're being asked to do that. What the fuck did I say about this? I said break. There's some cycles, right? Break the chain. This shit don't lie. I didn't make this up. You literally saw me shuffling for minutes. Break the chain, ancestral patterns, healing, rewriting the future. Yeah, this is a big pattern that happens in your family. It's not just you. And I think an important thing for you to know as well is that these things might not actually be yours. You might be carrying like your ancestors, your family's hurt. You might be carrying all these really painful trauma. Like, it's been passed on and on and on to you. I think this is not something that you have done. Even though I did say about those past lives and things, but you know, we're all connected. We're all super connected, I think, with our fellow, you know, ancestors and things. And in this case, you are most certainly connected to them. This is about breaking intergenerational cycles. And that is so up my street. I think you can do it, group number 2. I have a lot of faith in you. I deeply resonate with this card myself, as someone who's trying to break the cycle in their family. So, this might be about family as well then. Yeah. Break the chain. Break the chain, group number 2. I think you can do it. You are going to be that person in your family line that's like, yeah, stops with me. You're not going to pass this on and on and on to your children if you do decide to have them. it stops with you. That's bullshit. Okay? So that's all I have for you, group number 2. I really hope that you resonated with this reading. This is a lot. I feel like this is twice as long as group number 1. But if you enjoyed this reading, please at least give me a big old thumbs up. Consider subscribing if you enjoyed this kind of content. And if you want to have a lot more detail, maybe about this thing, about shadow work, I do offer private readings for shadow work. You can contact me or just fill in the form. It's in the description box, and you can get a private reading with me about shadow work. Or you can also get coaching as well, reparenting coaching. That's what I offer. If you're interested, if you have any questions about that, that is a lot more like intensive support. This is what I'm all about. This is what I'm all about. Breaking chains and cycles and reparenting yourself so you can redefine who you are and what you think is worthy. Even though, spoiler alert, you are already worthy. Yeah. I really hope you enjoyed this reading. I certainly did. And I will see you on the next one. Bye. Hello, group number 3. If you chose this image, then this is going to be the reading for you. So I'm going to shuffle these cards. But if you are not interested, then you can just skip right ahead to your reading. I am going to leave the timestamp. This is for those of you who like seeing the cards being shuffled, because sometimes I'm a bit sus myself. We have the Magician. Okay, this is definitely a common theme in this whole reading. All of the first cards are Major Arcana. Actually, I'll show you what it is. The Chariot. Another Major. Just to let you know, I'm seeing, I saw this as well, 6 of Swords. Just taking note. Maybe it does want to come out. Maybe it is about that. We'll see. What is at stake? Alright, two cards wants to come out. We have the 7 of Wands and the Wheel of Fortune reversed. So that's yet another Major Arcana. By golly. I've never said that before in my life. But there you go. That's how intense this is. Group number 3. How are you going to be transformed by this experience? The Sun. The Sun. Amazing. Another Major Arcana. Fucking hell. Group number 3. We have very powerful energies for you. Alright. Let's actually get on to this reading. Ow. Okay, so who are you? You are represented by the Magician. You are a master manifester, I think, with the Magician, because the Magician talks a lot about manifestation. You are someone who is like naturally super talented. You might be interested in a lot of things. I'm getting like Gemini energy from this card as well, just because look at this like main figure, the red one, and then there's like someone behind it, the blue. Or you might be a manifesting generator as well in human design. I'm just getting that sense. If you don't know your human design, I highly recommend you check it out. But yeah, you are someone who is very talented. You have a lot of the things that you say, a lot of the things that you do, a lot of the things that you think about, those things are very powerful. So you actually have to be very careful about that as well, just because you hold so much power to manifest. It might be communication might be your strong suit, just because Mercury is the sign that's like on top of this figure. So you might be someone who is very good with words, whether that be speaking or writing. I think just words in general. I think a lot of the things that you say, a lot of people really listen to you. So what do you need to let go of? Group number 3 is the Chariot. And when I was shuffling, when this card came out, I immediately thought about the Chariot kind of being like crutches for you. Because the Chariot is, I don't know why, but like I thought that the Chariot is like a person. A Chariot is not a person, it's kind of like a vehicle, right? So I think you need to let go of like this vehicle, like this kind of attachment towards this vehicle. I think you might have the belief that you need this vehicle to kind of survive. That you need to go about life like kind of, you have to ride this vehicle, right? The vehicle is kind of like represented by these wolves. It's like you might have these, I don't know why, but this is kind of reminding me of Moon Knight for some reason, just because there's 2 kind of wolves and there's a moon in here. So if you wait, is this one? Yeah, this one. There's a moon here as well. So I'm getting the sense that you kind of depend a lot on these 2 parts of yourself that might be very opposing. Because in Moon Knight, there's like these 2 people, right? Sorry if you haven't seen it, then I'm going to be talking about spoilers. So if you care about that, maybe skip the next couple minutes. I won't go too much into it, but in Moon Knight, there's 2 characters, right? And we're kind of like throughout this whole thing, we're kind of like trying to figure out like who's the real one. Is it Steven? Is it Mark? Like, we don't know. And you might have these like two sides of yourself, and that really goes along with this, because I did say that you might be a Gemini, or you might have a prominent Gemini placement in your chart. You don't have to be a Gemini, but you might have that energy in you that's really quite big. And I was speaking about manifestation, right? And Nine of Cups is also about manifestation, but that's more the minor arcana version. Another moon right there. Yeah, so you might have to walk away from, depending on these kinds of parts of yourself. I talked about these parts that we have within ourselves as well in group number 1, but you need to walk away from... Actually, you don't... Sorry. What you need to walk away from is not these two parts of yourself. But what you need to walk away from is the fight that these two parts of yourself... It feels like there's like a war inside of you. Like two parts of yourself that's in war. Again, because I'm thinking about Moon Knight. But the lesson in Moon Knight is that, at least for me, this is how I interpreted it, is that these parts of yourself, they are both you. Like, there's no like, oh, this one's the real you or that one's the real you. And this is about like the parts of yourself that you have exiled, right? And you need to stop that. You need to stop exiling certain parts of yourself. You need to accept. You need to accept all parts of yourself. And you need to walk away from compartmentalizing things, like putting things in boxes and kind of judging these boxes as well. Like, oh, this box is bad, this box is good. I don't want that one because it's bad. Get rid of it. Like, that shit does not work, okay? And what makes it so hard for you to walk away from this is Nine of Cups. I think you might have formed a lot of attachment. So much attachment within this whole reading. Like, that seems to be a common theme as well in all the groups. You might have formed attachments, emotional attachments especially, with these like parts of yourself. And there's a lot of grief. And maybe you're scared. Maybe you're scared to let go of this grief, or let go into, or like leaning into this grief. That idea might be really, really fucking scary for you. And with this card, I'm getting the sense that like you are not very... Even though the Magician is someone who has all the tools, like you are good at every single like thing, like element, because there's 4 elements in the Magician, right? Fire, earth, air, water. But I'm getting the sense that you are not very much in touch with the watery side of you, like you're not very in touch with your emotions. Even though you are actually quite an emotional person with the Nine of Cups. And with the 7 of Wands representing what is at stake and the Wheel of Fortune in reverse. Let me show you. The Seven of Wands is about protection. It's about, again, protection is also a big theme I'm noticing within all these groups. Seven of Wands is about protection. It's about defense. It's about protecting your energy. It's about rage. It's about a lot of things, to be honest. But might be a lot of rage. I think what's at stake here is like your energy. Your energy is at stake. Because the wands does represent the element of fire, and fire is about your passion. This is about what lights you up, like what makes life fun and interesting and worth living. This is what fires up your soul, and that is what is at stake with the Seven of Wands. You might have to keep on like defending yourself and your passion and your fire, the fire within you. With Leo, that's about happiness as well. And the Wheel of Fortune in reverse. The Wheel of Fortune is about, it's not about karma. I interpret the Wheel of Fortune as like, you know, if you spin the wheel, right, you don't know where you're going to land, but like it's the idea that life goes in cycles. Again, similar to group number 2, this might be about cycles as well that keeps happening in your life. These patterns that are passed on and on and on from your previous lives, if you do believe in reincarnation and stuff like that. Or these could be about like the cycles, like generational, intergenerational cycles as well. That might be at stake here. Because what is waiting for you on the other side is also the sun. And I think this is the ultimate card of joy, right? The sun is the ultimate card of joy. And this is how you are going to be transformed. So I think this is a lot about joy, about passion. That is what is at stake here. If you don't start accepting the different parts of yourself, the parts of yourself that you were so scared of, the parts of yourself that you have denied for years and years and years. And that's something that you learned as well. Like, you learned to deny that part of yourself because you think that if this part of myself comes out, that part might like take me over and I can't have control over it. But the thing is, like, you can create control. You can control the different parts of yourself, because ultimately who needs to be taking the driver's seat is you. Yourself with a capital S. Not these different parts. You need to stop these, because I think these different parts of yourself are kind of like dictating your life. These different parts of yourself are the ones with a driver's license, and you're the one who authorizes the license. And you are letting those parts of yourself that doesn't actually serve you. Actually, they do, but it doesn't serve you when you don't accept them, if that makes sense. The problem here is that the parts of yourself are not a problem. It's a problem when you unconsciously let them take over the steering wheel. That's the problem, not those parts. Okay, I really need to make that distinction because that is super important. Because by denying these certain parts of yourself that you don't like, that might do things that make you like lose the people that you love, lose the people that, you know, I'm getting that sense with the Nine of Cups, the things that you really care about. It's because you are losing those things because they are taking over, and they're taking over unconsciously. It's not because of them, but it's because you are unconscious of it. And so you keep on like defending yourself with the Seven of Wands, because Seven of Wands is about rage as well. Maybe there's a lot of rage that comes out and you don't like that. Even though anger itself is not a problem. Like, anger is not a bad emotion. We only say that anger is bad because it's uncomfortable. And sometimes when it's unconscious, when we don't take control of that emotion, that's when that rage controls us, and that becomes a problem. This is the other side. If you do walk away, you are going to experience joy. And look at these two figures, right? These opposing figures, the masculine, the feminine. You are going to be able to meet and create joy in your life. And this is the transformation that you are going to experience if you do accept these different parts of yourself. Group number 3. That, not gonna lie, that did take me a while for me to understand what this is about, but I really hope that you understand what I'm coming from, what the message is. And so let's pull some cards just for some final messages for you. Group number 3. I'm gonna shuffle until the cows come home. Come on. Okay. Alright, group number 3, we have 2 cards, and one of the cards I am not at all shocked that this card came out. The first one is Council of Light, Divine Orchestration, help us in the subtle realms. So I think a lot of these things, a lot of your journey, what you are about to go through, this journey of walking away from this is divinely orchestrated. Like, this is divine timing. This is your guides, not just your guides, but like literally all the powerful spirits in the higher realms. Like, they are literally orchestrating this for you. So this is happening for you, not to you. I know it can be incredibly invalidating sometimes to hear that, but please know that you do have help. You are definitely not alone in this journey. You have immense, powerful support from the higher realms, the subtle realms, and you are not alone. If you need any help, ask them. Ask them for help. Sometimes that's the thing. Like, they can't really help without your consent in a way, so you kind of have to ask them. And that's all you need to do. If you've never tried it, try it. And we have Mira. Who or what is triggering you? I already got the sense that this is a lot about shadow work, and this is definitely, for me, the shadow work card. If there is anyone that riles you up in your life, anyone or anything that really riles you up, that spurs such an intense emotional reaction, you are being called to dive deeper into that and question why. Like, why does it trigger you so much? Why does it make you so angry? Why does it make you so sad? Like, what, yeah, just what riles you up about it? And you are being called to investigate deeper into that. And that is how you are going to be able to walk away and step into this. Okay? So, if you've never done shadow work before, try and Google it. Or I also offer shadow work as well, in private, in like a tarot reading form. So if you are interested in diving deeper into your shadows, what is this as well? Like, who are these different parts of yourself? What do they do? Like, how do they actually, what are the things that you do that are actually like unconsciously driven by these different parts that you're not conscious of? We can most definitely dive into that in the private readings. I do also offer coaching, more specifically reparenting. That is what I do. I'm all about breaking intergenerational cycles. That is something that we can most definitely learn as well. These different parts of yourself, we can dive into that. Who are they? And how can we kind of raise your not raise your consciousness, but like bring these different parts of yourself to consciousness? And how can you kind of take that driver's seat? Like I said, that's definitely something that we can do in coaching as well, because that's a more intensive, and like I offer it for 12 weeks. So like, you know, we can work for, you know, an extended period of time so that you have that constant support, because this is not going to be easy, obviously. Doing this shit is not easy. So it's going to take time. Sometimes you are gonna need help. So that's what I'm here to do. But anyways, if you resonated with that reading, please do give me a thumbs up. Consider subscribing as well. And leave a comment if you do resonate with this reading. I would love to hear your story about how this resonates with you. Otherwise, like I said, book a tarot reading, book a coaching. You can also, if you want more tarot readings as well, I also stream my readings on Twitch. And that is it. Okay. Thank you so much for watching and getting into this point. I appreciate you so much. I really enjoyed doing this. And I will hopefully see you again in another video. Bye.